From the Kohl Center in Madison, welcome to the 2005 WIAA State Boys Basketball Tournament. Hi everybody, welcome to Madison. Along with Dennis Uppena, I'm Jay Wilson. Thanks for being with us. The 90th Annual State Boys Basketball Tournament. We're looking forward to 16 exciting tournament games here on the WIAA State Tournament Network this week. And we start with Division III semifinal action. The Dominican Knights against the Cuba City Cubans. Dominican comes in here, Dennis, 25-0. They've won every game they played this season. They're defending state champions. And Cuba City's a clear underdog today.
That's right, and they come in with three seniors that really have done an outstanding job for them this year. A lot of leadership there, a lot of points, a lot of rebounds. They're very tough. They're physical. They're very, very quick and athletic.
Let's take a look at our Menards points of the game. First, for the defending state champion Dominican Knights. They're led by three seniors who played important parts in that state championship last year: J.R. Blount, Brandon Brown, and Ben Haley.
And Blount's by one of those premier players in the state this year, maybe Mr. Basketball. He's very, very quick, good defensive player. You've got Haley, plays on the inside, a good rebounder, and has put up some good numbers as far as scoring this year too. And Brown, probably maybe the best defensive player on the team.
Now for the Cuba City Cubans, I don't even know if a lot of people in Cuba City thought the Cubans would be making it here. About a month ago, the Cubans were in the midst of losing 7 of 10 games, but they caught fire in the tournament, and they have a lot of senior leadership: Andy Richard, Corey Kirk, and Dustin Moore.
Certainly a tale of two seasons for them. We've got, again, three outstanding seniors that add up to an awful lot of points, awful lot of rebounds, and certainly a lot of leadership, and they're very glad to be here this year.
No question. Dominican last year beat Cuba City in the sectional final for a berth at the state tournament. This year, the Cubans hope to even the score in the Division III semifinals. We'll be back to check the lineups, Division III action. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
At Menards, we guarantee to save you big money and provide the best service and quality. On sale this week, the Raphael Collection by Westinghouse. This ceiling light is $79. The chandelier is only $139. Make painting your ceiling easy with Dutch Boy Ceiling Solution. It goes on violet but dries bright white to eliminate coverage problems. Only $13.88 a gallon. Menards, guaranteed to save you big money.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, I'm Bo Ryan. You may know me as the head basketball coach of the Wisconsin Badgers. When it comes to choosing a financial institution, I'm a consumer. As a consumer, I look for a financial institution committed to helping me reach my personal goals. I look for a community bank. In today's world of big business mergers, you still have local options. When you bank with a community bank, you receive personal service, a full range of financial products, and when you need a decision, it's made right here in the community. Join a winning team. Visit a community bank today.
Shake stuff up.
The Cuba City Band with our national anthem. Now let's meet the teams, Cuba City and Dominican. Our public address announcer is Scott Nelson.
And now let's meet the participants in this morning's Division III semifinal game. First, from the Southwest Wisconsin Conference, the Cuba City Cubans. And from the Parkland Conference, the Dominican Knights. First, let's meet the Cubans. A junior guard, number 10, Josh Bruner. A junior guard, number 12, Chase Dressens. A senior guard, number 14, Chris Becker. A senior forward, number 30, Adam Bruner. A senior forward, number 34, Josh Lai. A senior forward, number 40, Mike Myers. A junior forward, number 42, Garrett Kaiser. A junior forward, number 44, Jamie Schrum. A junior forward, number 50, Kevin Keeler. And a senior guard, number 54, Kurt Desjardins. And now let's meet the Knights. A senior guard, number 3, Scott Pozowinski. A senior forward, number 4, Travis Davidson. A senior guard, number 10, Tyrone Doherty II. A junior guard, number 22, Mike Flanagan. A senior forward, number 30, Tony Balistreri. A junior guard, number 32, Ben Allen. A junior guard, number 34, Mario England. A freshman forward, number 40, J.D. Wise. A junior forward, number 42, Cutter Tews. And a senior forward, number 44, Zenas Underwood. And now, the starting lineups for the Cuba City Cubans. At forward, a 6'5" senior, number 4, Andrew Richard. At forward, a 6' senior, number 24, Dustin Moore. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 20, Tyson Dressler. At guard, a 6' sophomore, number 22, Tyler Timmerman. And at guard, a 6'4" senior, number 32, Corey Kirk. The Cuba City is under the direction of head coach Jerry Pettigrew. And now the starting lineup for the Dominican Knights. At forward, a 6'5" senior, number 12, Ben Haley. At forward, a 6'4" senior, number 52, Ben Wolf. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 24, Brandon Brown. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 25, J.R. Blount. And at guard, a 5'10" freshman, number 33, Kwame Mitchell. The Knights are under the direction of head coach Paul Wallersheim. The officials for today's contest are Tim Harkey from Green Bay and Terry Kreeser from Swamico.
Now the starting lineup for Cuba City. The Cubans start 4 seniors. The only underclassman is sophomore point guard Tyler Timmerman, who's playing with a lot of confidence. A career-high 28 points against Point Ed in the sectional semifinal. Dominican, of course, the defending 3 division champions. 3 starters back from last year's championship game, Haley, Brown, and Blount. Kwame Mitchell, a talented freshman, starting at guard for the Knights. And an interesting observation from Dominican coach Paul Wallersheim yesterday. He said one of the key factors for Cuba City is their head coach, Jerry Pettigrew, the winningest coach in state history. What kind of strategy can Jerry Pettigrew come up with to go against Dominican?
Well, he's in a tough situation there. Definitely Dominican is favored. And they have such great quickness and experience that that's going to be part of the problem that they got to face. Are they going to be able to handle that quickness on defense? Are they going to be able to defend that quickness?
Dominican in the white uniforms. The first shot attempt by Kwame Mitchell misses, and the long rebound goes to Cuba City. That's Tyler Timmerman.
Jerry's experience over the years is certainly going to come in handy today with this type of game.
Backdoor cut. Timmerman lays it in. 2-0 Cuba City.
Defensively, Cuba City likes to play man. They like to play 1-3-1, but we're probably going to see a little bit of a adaptation to 1-3-1 today.
Watch number 20, Tyson Dressler, all over Blount, who floats out to the three-point line but missed the shot, and Corey Kirk rebounds for the Cubans. That'll be the matchup Pettigrew goes with. 20, Tyson Dressler shadowing J.R. Blount. Now Cuba City. Kicking it to Corey Kirk. Defended there by Ben Haley, number 12. Now Kirk. Finds Dressler. And the rebound falls into the hands of Blount for Dominican. Mitchell tries another long 3. Missed there. Ball tipped out back to Mitchell, who gets it back to Blount.
Rebounding certainly going to be a key, and in regular season stats, Cuba City has a little bit of edge per game.
Cold shooting to start for Dominican. Ball knocked away by Haley, but Dressler retrieves for Cuba City. He played almost 2 minutes, and the score is 2-0 Cuba City. Here's Kirk.
A lot of nerves early in the game, a lot of energy out there.
Dressler's in a bit of trouble. He finds Dustin Moore, senior co-captain, number 24. Moore has it stolen there by Brandon Brown, keeps it in bounds. Brown works on Timmerman. Jump hook, got it.
They'll definitely try to penetrate every chance they get, and then off of a steal like that's a good opportunity.
You can see the problem Dominican creates on defense. They are awfully quick and help each other out very well, at least to start. Dominican foul, 24, Brandon Brown. First personal, first team foul.
Cuba's handling the pressure pretty good so far. We'll see what happens as the game progresses.
Well, they don't want Dominican to get it going.
No.
Dominican gets on a run, that'll be tough for Cuba City to handle.
They're really going to have to get loose off screens to come help take care of the ball.
Dressler driving. Oh, what a move over Ben Wolf.
Very physical move. He knew what he wanted to do. Was strong enough to get it up over top.
Cubans up 2. Blount looks to get a pick from Wolf. Now they swing it to Mitchell. He'll try another 3. Again, can't get it. Long rebound to Blount.
As so often is the case, those long shots come out an awful long ways, and you've got to be able to hold your man out, not necessarily just turn and go to the basket.
Brandon Brown double team nicely there. Now tied up. Kirk looked for the steal, couldn't get it. Mitchell. Now to Haley. Left-handed 3, got it. Dominican takes its first lead of the day, 5-4.
It's nice to have a big guy be able to step out and shoot that, Jay.
He had 26 three-point baskets in the regular season, did Ben Haley. Now can Cuba City get one back? Nope, Moore missed. Blount. Player control foul. That's a charge on J.R. Blount. His first.
Well, the way they're playing that defense with Dressler all over him, sometimes he's got to spin, and somebody else on that 3, the 3 guys around is going to step up and be able to take that charge.
Second team foul on Dominican. We get our first look at 44, Zenas Underwood. He replaces Ben Wolf for Dominican. Underwood's a 6'2 senior forward. Now here's Cuba City, down 1. Andy Richard. This is Tyson Dressler looking to feed Dustin Moore, but the pass goes out of bounds. Turnover number 2 on the Cubans. The 2005 WIAA tournament is brought to you by the Wisconsin Education Association Council. Proud to support WIAA boys and girls sports and inviting you to visit WIAC.org to learn how great schools benefit you. Brown, that's Underwood. Back out to Blount. Look at Dressler right up in his face. That's going to be a Cuba City foul.
Dressler's one of those hard-nosed kids. Plays football, recovered from injury this year. I know his older brother plays at UW-Platteville, and the whole family is very, very athletic. Not real big kids, but very tough.
Tyson Dressler's sister Brianna was on the state tournament team for Cuba City's girls last week. There's Blount with his first basket. 7-4 Dominican.
Little penetration and a nice smooth jump shot.
Again, Dominican playing hard up defense, right in your face. Now here's Dressler having trouble near the timeline. And a deflection into the backcourt taken there by Moore. Andy Richard, number 4 for Cuba City, hit 6 threes in the sectional final. He doesn't have a shot yet. 2:53 left first quarter. That's a Dominican foul. 44, Zenas Underwood. First personal, third team foul. Cuba City substitution, Jamie Schrum will get Tyson Dressler. And we will have a timeout with 2:53 left in the first quarter. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
So 3 drivers on one policy is not a problem?
Not a problem.
You might even qualify for a discount.
Discount? Really?
Really, like there's a multi-vehicle, or if we insure your home or farm, and then...
Right. Here we go.
Rural Mutual agents always make time to listen, whether it's about your personal, small business, or farm insurance.
You're doing great. Ow, you know, that kind of hurts a little bit on me. Oh.
A passion for learning. Excellence in education. Pride in sharing the rewards of accomplishment. That's why we established the Marshfield Clinic Science Award, presented to the students and teachers of each championship school. Winning at life, it's how you play the game.
Dennis Uppin and Jay Wilson, live at the Kohl Center in Madison. Thanks for being with us. Division III semifinal action. Dominican leads Cuba City 7-4 in the first quarter. In the early field goal shooting, Cuba City, when they get shots, have been able to make half of them. Dominican only 3 of 7, but the Knights have a 3-point lead. And Cuba City having trouble getting their offense going.
Right, and that's part of the reason why they've only got 4 shots. They've turned the ball over a couple of times, and they're trying to run a lot of screens to get open and a couple specials, but the pressure is pretty hard, and sometimes hard to get into your offense that way.
Well, right out of the timeout, Tyler Timmerman is 2 for 2 from the field, and it's 7-6.
I'm sure that's just the way Jerry drew it up.
Well, yeah. Mitchell tries another 3. He's 0 for 4 from distance. The Dominican again with a rebound inside. Now here's Brandon Brown. This time they find Haley. Cuba City finally gets the board as Andy Richard gets it out front. Now here's Kirk pushing, blocked there, and a foul on Dominican. Kwame Mitchell with a personal.
I think Cuba City's going to take every opportunity they can to push the ball before. If they don't have to fight that tough defense, they're going to do that.
Kwame Mitchell's first personal foul, 4th team foul on Dominican. Here's Corey Kirk at the free throw line. First team all-conference selection. Jerry Pettigrew says he's one of the best athletes he's ever coached at Cuba City, and that covers a lot of territory.
Oh, that's a lot of years.
Kirk 1 of 2. Tie game at 7. Blount headed to Loyola of Chicago next year, Division I scholarship. He'll try a straight-on 3. Miss. Rebound, Kirk, Cuba City.
They've put up quite a few threes already, and their shooting percentage from three-point range has not been real good this year.
Dominican is 1 of 7 from three-point range so far, and there's another foul on the Knights.
And they have an injury on the floor, too.
Kwame Mitchell slow to get up. Follows on Ben Haley, number 12 for Dominican. His first personals. Now all 5 players for Dominican in their lineup have 1 personal foul. 5 as a team. That time, Timmerman stepped on the end line.
Got himself in a pretty tight spot down there in the corner.
Jerry Pettigrew, 34th year at Cuba City. A career record, 671 wins, 174 losses. The winningest coach in Wisconsin high school history. Near steal there, but Kwame Mitchell gets it to Ben Haley, and Haley hits the baseline shot. And Haley with 4. Dominican back in front.
Haley's got a nice looking shot. Real smooth. Gets up in the air real. Keeps it in front. Keeps it high.
Effortless. Andy Richard would like to get one up here. Averaging 14.6 points per game, and he has not taken a shot attempt so far. There's a turnover as a steal by Blount. Blount will take it all the way on Kurt, and counted, and a foul, J.R. Blount.
Great concentration, taking it to the basket. The defense was there. He fought through it.
This is the problem Dominican presents. Quickness on the steal and a great finish.
Ball denial defense, and an opportunity just wasn't there.
Number 10, Tyrone Doherty II, 5'10" senior guard now in for Dominican. He is the all-time leading scorer in Dominican high school history, and that covers some names too. Greg Dandridge, Ray Nixon.
Some outstanding players, and you take a look at the stats he's had every year since a freshman, put up some pretty good numbers.
That time, Dustin Moore drives aggressively to the lane and draws another foul. That's on Tyrone Doherty, his first, team's 6th. So Cuba City now in the bonus with 53 seconds left in the first quarter. To the line is Dustin Moore. His numbers on the season, he's a 57% free throw shooter and makes the first. Dustin Moore, one of the co-captains, an outstanding football player as well for Cuba City.
I like how aggressive Cuba City's taking the ball to the basket, running their offense and penetrating too. Drawing some fouls here early, which might tell a tale a little bit later in the game.
If they could get some of the Dominican's big stars into foul trouble, that'll help the cause too.
Absolutely.
12-9 now, Dominican. There's Haley again. Now, that's beautiful.
It is.
Ben Haley with 6 points. 5-point lead for Dominican. Timmerman, here the timeline. Now here's Richard. He'll try one. Rims out. Doherty rebounds for the Knights.
That's the kind of look that he needs to get, and I think he gets a few more of them, they'll drop.
Dominican will hold it for the final shot of the first quarter. Into the hands of Blount. Three-pointer. Rebound inside Underwood. Has it taken away by Richard, and that's the first quarter. 14-9 Dominican. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. Welcome back to the Kohl Center. And Dennis Uppiner, that's your niece? Oh, she was wearing the fire hat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. There you go.
My sister and her husband live in Cuba City.
Okay. Well, good to see her at the Kohl Center today. Here's your first quarter statistics. Both teams shooting well from 2-point range, but boy, the 3-point shot hasn't fallen early.
No, you know, it can, it's one of those situations you live and die by that 3-point, and sooner or later you're going to find out you're hitting it, and then you got to decide, well, are we going to give that up and go inside or what?
Here's something Jerry Pettigrew told us last night after their shoot-around. If we're down 4 points after the first quarter, we're have a chance. Well, they're down 5.
That's a pretty close call. And I don't know if that was something he was thinking was going to happen or just hoping was going to happen.
Cuba City foul 22, Tyler Timmerman, his first, third team foul. So now the Knights have their first possession of the second quarter. Closed captioning of the 2005 WIAA Boys and Girls Basketball Championships, brought to you by your WIAA network station. And Dominican gets the rebound off the floor. Blount gets it to Brandon Brown. Into the lane. There's that hook again. Brandon Brown.
Nice move. It's a hard shot to block. There's a lot of kids going to that kind of move. Guards, everybody's learning that. You take a look at the Badgers and what Wilkinson does with it against bigger guys. It's a good kind of offensive
There's
move.
a 10-second call as Timmerman got in trouble first. And then Kirk had to retreat, and that caused the 5th turnover of the day on the Cubans, and the Knights get the ball right back. Brandon Brown gets a pick, gets the 15-footer. Underwood follow, tipped there by Haley.
Their athleticism is tough. They're able to elevate over the Cuba players, and they pulled down quite a few rebounds. And that was a concern that Coach Overtime had, but they're certainly handling it very well on that offensive end.
At the other end, Andy Richard answers for the Cubans. His first basket, 18-11 Knights. Haley gets it again. That time he fell down after the shot, and the rebound to Corey Kirk for Cuba City.
They're still staying in that 1-3 with the chaser, and it seems to be working pretty well for them.
Now here's Richard. Foul on the inside. This time it goes against Cuba City. I think Corey Kirk was sliding on the pick just a bit. His second, team's 4th. 33, Kwame Mitchell, who started the game, back in for Tyrone Doherty. Dominican has won 4 state titles in the last 9 years, 3 in WISA and the WIAA title last year. Mitchell still has not hit the three-point shot, and again, it's Dominican coming away with it with Ben Haley. We'll get it back, get Kirk in the air, foul on Corey Kirk. And that will send Ben Haley to the free throw line for 3 free throw attempts.
Tough situation for Kirk. He got twisted around, got up in the air off the fake, and made some contact on the shot.
Last year at the state tournament, Ben Haley was 13 of 20 from the field, and he's picking up this year right where he left off. 9 points so far today. 4 of 6 from the field so far in our Division III semifinal game. Makes the second. Again, he'll get one more. Substitution for Cuba City. Jamie Schrum back in. He'll get Corey Kirk. Haley rolls that one in. 20-11 Dominican.
Haley's certainly an offensive threat. We saw earlier in the year about Christmas time how he scored 32 here, I believe, at the Pulse Center.
Yep.
Against Memorial.
It was actually at the Fieldhouse. It was Badger Classic at the Fieldhouse. He had 32, and J.R. Blount had 23, so that's 55 right there. That's a pretty good start.
Yes, it is. You got a 1-2 punch like that, you're going to win a lot of ball games, and they've won them all so far.
Of course, Jerry Pettigrew, no stranger to the state tournament. Cuba City making its 10th trip to state. First time since 1998 when they won the championship. And we have a lot of big-name coaches, a lot of successful coaches here at the state tournament this week. Tom Diener's Milwaukee Vincent team will play Racine Case this afternoon, the Division I quarterfinals. Of course, Bob Heffley from Randolph. His team goes for its 4th straight title, trying to be the first team to do that. Heffley has coached Randolph to 5 state championships, and Jerry Pettigrew, 1981, 1991, and the 1998 title. So Jerry, who's that guy below Pettigrew there? Dennis Uppena. Hey, those are some good days, huh?
They were, definitely. I'd love to be where Jerry's at right now, but I guess this is probably a pretty close second.
I guess, yeah, not bad, not bad. Here's Brandon Brown. Gets it back from Underwood. Mitchell, one more try, and that time he gets the 3. Kwame Mitchell, his first in 6 attempts from three-point range, and now Cuba City's in a big hole, 23-11.
Go ahead. The pressure really it looked like it stepped up. They've gotten tougher and tougher. A lot more quickness out there now.
Richard 3, no. Rebound Haley. Looks like there's 7 Dominican defenders out there. Now here's Blount. Oh, short on a layup. And then a foul on Mitchell on the follow attempt. Wow, you won't see Blount miss many layups like that.
Absolutely not.
Second personal on Kwame Mitchell.
I think he took his eye off the basket a little bit, watching the defender.
And I think the defender got just a piece of it to knock it off his hand a little bit.
Right.
That's the 7th team foul on Dominican, so we will shoot free throws. The bonus situation for Cuba City. Well, maybe the Cubans can crawl back into the game from the free throw line. Right now they're down 12 points with 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Definitely is going to be crucial that they hit their free throws because the pressure is not letting them run their offense very much today.
Tyler Timmerman, his 5th point on the day.
Early before the season in the yearbook, Jerry had a little quote, we need to find a point guard who can run the show. And tradition is always one of their strengths. And I think Timmerman, according to Jerry, really likes how he stepped up for the tournament, and there he nailed a couple of free throws right there.
Tyler Timmerman's dad, Greg, played on the 1981 Cuba City State Championship team. Now there's another Greg Timmerman that played basketball at the University of Wisconsin. That's a different guy. He's a banker in Boscobel or something, I heard. Mitchell starting to heat up from 3. His 2nd in a row. 6 points for Kwame Mitchell. 26-13.
Now we've got full court pressure.
Schrum gets it to Dressler. Cuba City hasn't hit a 3-point shot yet. Dominican now 3 of 11. Moore will try it. Miss it again. Blount rebounds Dominican. And that pass too hot for Mitchell to handle. Turnover, Dominican. Paul Wallersheim's in his 10th season at Dominican. His record, 209 wins, 33 losses. The 7th turnover on Cuba City.
Dominican's really looking to push the ball up the floor, but that time Cuba City got back.
And look, they're turning it in 2 points. 16 points off turnovers for Dominican. None for Cuba City. That leads to a 13-point lead for the Knights. Richard got the three.
That helps to take the lid off the basket right there. Maybe that'll spark them a little bit.
You could just hear the air.
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness. 26-16. Brandon Brown floats to the free throw line. Now Mitchell, can he hit 3 in a row? No. But Brown is there for the foul. No again. 2 Dominican players there. Haley missed. Wolf tips it. Mitchell tips it. And here comes Cuba City with it. Dustin Moore.
Cuba City keeps battling in there.
Spin move. Short. Schrum missed the shot, and then a Cuba City foul on the rebound. Andy Richard with that 3-point shot.
Came off a screen, squared up and hit it.
And he had 6 3-pointers to start out the game against Wild Rose in the sectional final. His 6 threes gave Cuba City an 18-5 lead. He was the offense.
I don't think he's been getting those kind of looks today.
No. And Dominican has been pounding the offensive boards. 9-0 advantage on the offensive rebounds. Haley missed. Well, there's a rebound for Tyson Dressler for Cuba City. The 13-point lead is now down to 10. And there's more driving and drawing another foul.
I think that's basically what Cuba City's got to do. They've got to drive, draw, and dish, and take it to the basket all the way, draw fouls if they can, and get to that free throw line.
Ben Wolf draws his second personal foul. Here's our first look at Tony Balistreri, the 6'3 senior in. He'll replace Kwame Mitchell. Unauthorized use or rebroadcast of this program without the express written consent of Quincy Newspapers Incorporated, Wisconsin Broadcast Division, is strictly prohibited and a violation of U.S. copyright law. Missed free throw. Stays a 10-point lead for Dominican. Now down to 2:45 left first half.
Looks like they're going to take a little time off the clock right now. Going to make Cuba City come out and pick them up. With a 10-point lead, I guess you can do that.
The Milwaukee Vincent teams in the late 90s when they won 3 in a row did this a lot. They could kill, not a lot of teams can kill 2 minutes of clock, but Dominican looks like they could be one of those teams that's able to do something like that. Or get a really good shot out of it like Brown did. And rebound there, out of bounds to Cuba City.
It really frustrates the defense when you have that situation where you can hold that ball out front and you don't have to go in and score and give the ball up.
Again, Cuba City with a chance to cut into the 10-point deficit. Timmerman gets it to Moore, and he stepped over the line. That's an over and back as Dustin Moore popped back into the backcourt.
Those are the kind of turnovers that just a little bit of pressure all the time will create. Once in a while, you get one.
At the 2-minute mark, first half. Blount gets a step on Dressler. Missed the shot. More rebounds, Cuba City. Now the Cubans are just kind of hanging in there, but they have to start converting on the offensive end.
If they can close out here with maybe a 4-point run or something like that, it'll put them in a pretty good situation for the second half. They've got to be patient to do it.
Coach Pettigrew would love to be down 4 at halftime.
Oh, yes.
Not just the first quarter. They have a little work to do as they're down 10. Now down to 1:25. Pass gets through to Richard. Now back to Moore for the jump shot. And rebound to Ben Haley for Dominican. Again, another offensive trip comes up dry for the Cubans.
There wasn't anybody on the weak side to rebound that time at all.
Just a lot of white and green for Dominican. Brandon Brown, smooth move, foul. as he got to the lane. Foul before the shot, I believe. It's going to go on Andy Richard, number 4, his second personal foul.
Well, what's happening here is they're letting somebody else penetrate against that zone. Blount's giving the ball up. They're penetrating all the way in beyond the free throw line, pulling up and taking a jumper and drawing a foul.
Paul Wallersheim calls J.R. Blount and Brandon Brown the backbone of the team. That time, Brown missed the free throw.
We talked to him, too, about defense and who was the strongest defensive player. And both Brown and J.R. Blount are very, very tough. Coach likes how they play. Great leaders.
In fact, Brown and Blount will both break Greg Dandridge's school record for block shots in a season at Dominican. That's saying a lot.
I'm sure they've got a pretty good number of steals between them two.
Number 30. Make it 32. Corey Kirk is back in. Corey Kirk for Cuba City. There's that backdoor cut again, but that time Kirk and Timmerman can't hook up. Turnover Cuba City. Well, that play worked once, but not twice.
Well, I think it was there. Timmerman just took his eye off the ball a little bit.
Been 26-16 for a while. But Brown just glides when he dribbles with the basketball.
Yes, he does.
Here's Blount. Working on Dressler. 25 seconds in the quarter. Dressler got a hand on that, but Blount recovers. Blount to the lane, Blount to the basket, scoring.
Nice move. Switched over to the left hand, took it in left-handed.
6 points for J.R. Blount. Now Cuba City with Kirk, short. Down to 5 seconds. They go deep to Haley with 3. Missed it. And that time it's knocked out of bounds by Richard with 1.5 seconds left. Dominican basketball. Not much more than a catch and shoot here, although you do have a little time with 1.5 seconds left.
You got to get open right away.
Now Jerry Pettigrew will make a quick substitution defensively. Jamie Schrum. He'll get Corey Kirk. Also, Mike Myers comes in. He's a 6'3" senior. He'll help defend inside. And Dominican inbound. Blount, good look for 3. Nope. And that's the first half. J.R. Blount, the Dominican, with a 28-16 lead after the first half. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Winning the big game takes hard work, focus, and a commitment to the team. And that's a lesson that applies off the court as well. Wisconsin public schools are great schools. Our teachers are the finest in the nation, and our students succeed at every level. Through hard work, focus, and a commitment to our schools, we can ensure a brighter future for our children and a better Wisconsin for us all. WEAC is proud to support WIAA boys and girls sports and reminds you that great schools benefit you.
A passion for learning, excellence in education, pride in sharing the rewards of accomplishment. That's why we established the Marshfield Clinic Science Award, presented to the students and teachers of each championship school. Winning at life, it's how you play the game.
Cuba City Palms entertaining the crowd at halftime. It's 28-16, Dominican with the lead. I guess it could have been an even bigger lead, but 2 things in the first half I want to talk about. Dominican's suffocating defense that's giving Cuba City much difficulty on the offensive end, and Dominican's offensive rebounding ability has been fantastic in the first half.
Yeah, both have been major factors in the score of this game. We see the defense there. It's like you said earlier, it's like there's 2 guys. Every time somebody's got the ball, there's 2 guys on them. But that's that experience. They've done this for years. These guys have played together, and with their quickness and athleticism, and that's what they do all the time. I mean, this is every night in practice they do this time and time again. So it's nothing new to them, and they don't seem to be showing an awful lot of nerves or anything out here. They're playing it well, and they haven't gotten in real big foul trouble either.
Yeah.
The other thing, the offensive boards, it's making a big difference. They've gotten a lot of putbacks, got a lot of extra shots off that.
But for Cuba City, I mean, they're down 11, which is more than they'd like to be, certainly. But they're not out of it.
No.
Dominican didn't get that big run to actually blow them out.
Right. If they settle down, cut down on a few of those turnovers and get a few better looks, they'll drop a few more of those threes. And they have to continue to get to the free throw line. I think that's been one of the things that's helped them. If they can get some of the guys in foul trouble, then they're going to have to back off a little bit defensively. But right now, that's not been the case.
Can you imagine Coach Pettigrew in the locker room right now? He's going through about 3 pens, I think.
Yeah, I know. I've known Jerry for a lot of years, going back to 1963 or 4.
Ooh.
And Jerry always comes out with a game plan, and so much time over the years, they've been very, very good game plans.
All right. 28-17, our halftime score. Let's go now to Scott Emmerich.
Hey Jay, thanks very much. Whitefish Bay Dominican in charge here in our first Division III semifinal. Just getting started down here at the Kohl Center in Madison. Later on this morning, tip-off around 10:45 or so, we'll have our second Division III semifinal, Grantsburg and Manitowoc Roncalli. Well, when you see the athletes compete on the court, they must follow certain rules. How do those rules go into effect? Well, that is where WIAA comes in. Here's Doug Chickering, the WIAA Executive Director, to explain.
Whenever we talk about WIAA rules, we have to separate them into 3 different categories. There are playing rules or the contest rules. Those are developed by the National Federation of State High School Associations, and while we will have an input into that, we don't have as much unilateral authority in those as we do in 2 other sets of rules. The season regulations and tournament procedures are developed internally by the WIAA and its member schools. We think that we're very much of a membership-directed organization. And if we're talking about any changes in season beginning and ending dates, number of contests that schools can play, or anything that relates to the tournaments, deliberations will begin with dialogue with our coaches' associations. From there, the recommendations or the thoughts that the coaches want to advance will go to a WIAA-appointed coaches advisory committee. The next step is a review by athletic directors, and a third phase includes consideration and study by an elected advisory council that's made up of administrators and principals within our schools or assistants in either of those 2 positions. Somewhere along the line, the staff will also make a recommendation, and then those will go to our governing body, which is called the Board of Control, and the board's decision on those will be final. And the third set that I haven't touched on yet includes changes to our Constitution, bylaws, and rules of eligibility. The Constitution addresses the WIAA purposes and authority. The bylaws relate to the expectations and the responsibilities of the member schools, and the rules of eligibility relate to the standards that we expect our athletes to adhere to and to follow.
By the way, if you want a copy of any of the games you see down here in Madison, and that includes state hockey a couple weeks ago and the girls tournament last week, contact When We Were Young Productions. You see the address and the internet site below your screen. There's also a toll-free phone number, 877-313-6337. The cost $24.95 per copy, plus shipping and handling and taxes. And it's DVD copies only, no VHS. DVD copies, When We Were Young Productions, for any copies of any games you see down here at the state tournament. So far, it's Whitefish Bay Dominican leading Cuba City by 12 at the half, and they're going to send it down courtside. Jay Wilson and Dennis Uppana, and guys, so far, green is good on this St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that certainly makes sense, doesn't it now? And also, what a shock to have snow during a state boys basketball tournament.
What are the odds?
Yeah, right. Well, when people see Dominican, or I guess haven't seen Dominican, a lot of their attention goes to J.R. Blount because he's averaging almost 20 points a game. But Ben Haley's numbers aren't that far off, and he's really been a big factor in this first half, Ben Haley.
He really has been. He can get the open shots. He's tall enough, he's a good leaper, and he gets that ball well up over his head. He's got 11 points right now, and not only that, he's a pretty strong rebounder. He's got 5 rebounds. That's a pretty good first half.
Big start for Dominican and Ben Haley. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Again, our score is Dominican 28, Cuba City 16. And we start out with Ben Haley from 3.
Nice, smooth shot. Nothing but net.
Cuba City gets on the board. Tyler Timmerman will pull up to the jump shot, but still, again, defended by Dominican's defense.
Always a hand in the face, but he really stepped up and hit that one. Good shot for the sophomore.
Dominican freshman Kwame Mitchell had tough luck shooting early, but then he hit a couple threes.
Well, if you're a shooter, you don't quit.
Yeah.
You keep coming back to going.
Unless the coach tells you to quit, right?
That's right.
And Cuba City's great shooter, Andy Richard, finally got off the schneid there with a three.
You got a good look on that, and that's what they need to get more of.
Look at J.R. Blount.
Came across, crossover dribble, left-hand layup.
28-16 Dominican at halftime. Your statistics, interesting. Dominican has made 11 field goals. Cuba City has only taken 14 field goal attempts.
Well, again, we talked about those offensive boards and how many extra baskets they got. Yeah, quite a difference in rebounding.
And second chance points, it follows too, that Dominican would lead that 9-0. 9 turnovers on Cuba City, a little too many. Ooh, boy, and Dominican
points,
took advantage.
Right, the points off turnovers pretty lopsided.
Your leading scorers in the first half for Cuba City. Tyler Timmerman has 6, Andy Richard with 5. And for Dominican, Ben Haley, as we mentioned, 11 points. Blanc with 7. Mitchell, the freshman, with 2 3-point shots for 6 points. Dominican with a 12-point advantage as we head toward the start of the third quarter. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. Fans of all ages at the Kohl Center enjoying the 90th annual WIAA State Boys Basketball Tournament. Oh, it's snack time for the youngin' over there on the right. Oh, no, mom's putting the hammer down. No more food for now.
Well, that's a family that loves basketball.
It has been a roller coaster ride for Cuba City. 9-1 to start, then 3-7 in the next 10, and they haven't lost in the tournament. Go figure.
You know, earlier I said it was a tale of 2 seasons. Maybe it's 3. They started out with a good run, and then they fell in some hard times, but they're finishing strong again.
No question. Cuba City on defense to start. Dominican has a 37-game winning streak. Mitchell comes out firing another 3. Kirk controls the rebound to himself and gets it in the hands of Tyler Timmerman.
Well, that's a plus for him, preventing a second shot, getting those defensive boards.
Dominican's now 3 of 15 from 3-point range, but they're leading by 12.
So much of that because of the strong defense and the turnovers, points off turnovers.
And that time Timmerman tries to throw one over Ben Wolf, but it goes to Dominican. Great idea trying to force something, but that was a little too much of a force there.
I think the key is force.
Brown looks inside for Haley. Ooh, that one went under the basket and bounces out of bounds as Mitchell battles Dressler, and it goes to Cuba City.
One of the things I've noticed about Cuba City here, that they have position, but they're not really boxing out well underneath. And the Dominican guys are able to outleap them just a little bit for those, or tip it and maybe come down with it on the second tip.
Well, Wolf at 6'4", number 52, he's going to just outsize you, but the other guys can jump out of the building. Here's a steal there by Mitchell. 28-16. Nobody scored yet in the second half. Here's Mitchell. This time he steps inside the arc, kicks it back out to Brown. Free throw line. Well, that one just went off to the right side of the hoop. Kirk rebounds again for Cuba City. Dressler. Wow, that pass over the head of Andy Richard. Turnover. And Jerry Pettigrew is going to try and settle down Tyson Dressler after a tough shot and a tough turnover. 44, Jamie Schrum comes in for Dressler. The 2005 WIAA tournament is brought to you by Rural Insurance Company, providing a full line of insurance products for Wisconsin's families and businesses. Rural Mutual Insurance.
One of the things that coaches really don't like is when you, on a break like that, you throw the ball all the way across the court. Hard to handle, and a lot of times the defense can step in between.
Blount cut off there defensively by Kirk. Now Blount will pull up against Schrum. Rebound Haley, offensive rebound, and put back by Ben Haley. He has 13.
And another offensive board.
We've seen this game before. Richard, 3, short. Haley scoops the board away for Dominican.
He's everywhere today.
Man. Big Ben. How about a 3? Nope, he'll drive baseline. Beautiful move again by Ben Haley. 15 points for the senior.
A great setup without fake, and then took it to the basket.
That time a discontinued dribble by Jamie Schrum, but the story of this game offensively so far has been Ben Haley for Dominican. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
At Menards, we guarantee the lowest prices on the best selection. Make every job easier with Black & Decker power tools. All 10% off our guaranteed low prices. Pre-assembled fence panels make adding a fence quick and easy. These 4x8 foot wood panels, only $18.88 each. A 6x8 is $29.88. The best selection at guaranteed low prices, Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
How do we define a genuine Wisconsin community bank? For you, it means local decisions. For us, it means local commitment. And for the community, it means local investment. The Community Bankers of Wisconsin. We're the definition of local. Visit us at communitybankers.org.
Dominican has extended its halftime lead, 32-16. The Knights with the advantage in the Division III semifinal. And Ben Haley's numbers today, boy, he's right on his average, and we've only played about 2.5 minutes of the third quarter.
Well, he's everywhere, and he really hasn't done anything wrong today. Everything's been the right move.
Right after this one, Grantsburg and Roncalli will play in the other Division III semi. Mitchell looks to Haley. Haley kicks it back to Blount. He travels.
A little bit anxious there. A little happy feet.
Only the 4th turnover today on Dominican. Now Cuba City faces the full court pressure again, but broken easily that time by Timmerman. Richard tries a shot from the side. No, and Blount gets way up in the air for the rebound.
Well, not only do they play extremely tight, tough defense, but they're really good at boxing out too. There's not many opportunities for Cuba to get to the basket for the offensive board.
Brown to Blount. Back to Brown. Blount gets a good look from 3. Short. Ball tipped once, twice. Haley gets a shot at it. Haley puts it back, and he's fouled. Boy, this is volleyball practice for Dominican.
He's just so much stronger and really a good leaper.
44, Jamie Schrum with a personal foul, and Paul Wallersheim's team off to a good start here in the second half. They outscored Cuba City 4-0. Schrum has his first personal foul. And guess who's at the free throw line? Now up to 16 points for Ben Haley. If he played in Castle, he'd be Haley's Comet.
Hey, that's pretty neat.
Oh, and it's still before noon. That's pretty amazing. 33-16.
So when does Haley's Comet do again?
Oh, not for a while, I believe. Oh, there's the Cuba City story today. Kirk gets a good look inside and it rolls out.
A lot of that has to do with the pressure. They're, always looking for the defensive pressure to come and not concentrating on the shot totally.
Brown kicks it out to Mitchell for 3. Brown rebounds. On the putback, he is fouled. So another offensive rebound for Dominican.
Cuban foul number 4, Andy Richard, his third, team second. At the line, number 24, Brandon Brown, shooting 2.
Andy Richard with a personal foul. His third. Brown missed that one. 6 points on the day for Brandon Brown. Paul Wallersheim says Dominican hasn't had a lot of ups and downs this season. They've had their share of close games. They have 10 wins of 6 or less points. Another offensive rebound for Haley. Now Richard comes away with it for Cuba City. But it's a team that really keeps its composure well. That time Richard traveled.
Well, when you have that many close games decided by 1, 2, or 3 points that you've got tremendous leadership. And of course that starts with the guards. They control the tempo of the game. Whether the ball goes inside or, if you're going to set up a play, run a special, whatever. And these guys have done very, very well at that all year.
And when teams play Dominican, they're bringing their best stuff too.
They have to.
Long winning streak, defending state champions. And Dominican doesn't back down from anyone. They beat Madison Memorial, who's playing in Division I quarterfinals later today. There's another inside job by Ben Haley. He's fouled again. Cuba City foul on 22. Tyler Timmerman.
His second, team third.
And now a double-double for Ben Haley already. 16 points, 10 rebounds. In comes Zenas Underwood, 44 for Dominican.
Earlier they were finding Haley open outside, and now he's starting to go inside. If he doesn't make it, he's ending up at the free throw line.
And that one rolls in, so now 17 points for Ben Haley. He averages 14.7 points a game in the regular season. 34-16. Cuba City still hasn't scored in the second half. That's Timmerman. Underwood with good position there for the rebound.
They're playing that 1-3-1 zone pretty much straight right now, the way it looks. And from that, if you penetrate there, it's what you get. And if somebody comes up to pick them up, then they're going to dump it down to Haley.
Blount scores 7 points there. It looked like he lost control of it on the way up, but still put it in the hoop. So Blount well below his average of 19.8, but doesn't matter to the Knights. They're up 36-16, largest lead of the day. Richard gets the friendly roll. Andy Richard now with 7 points.
Good to see him get on the board. And we got to make some good things happen yet. You know what Jerry Pettigrew coach team is going to be the kind of team that will never give up. They play hard the whole ball game. They may be out quick here. And that's the biggest advantage I see between the two teams. And
Haley. Well, that time he forced it a little too much in the eyes of the referee. Foul on Haley. Offensive, second personal. First team foul. First look at Scott Pozowinski for Dominican. He wears number 3, 5'10" senior guard. He'll get the freshman, Kwame Mitchell. Pozowinski for Dominican. Richard has it blocked from behind by Brandon Brown. Boy, Richard thought he had a clear look at it, but Brown flew out of nowhere to knock it out of bounds. So Cuba City will inbound. Richard to trigger. Kirk. Oh, that's a nice left-handed move. Underwood flew through the air to try to block that one, but Kirk converts. He has 3.
that's something we really should expect from a senior, and I think he's seeing the situation right now and knows he's got to take a little bit of control here.
Blount this time works on Schramm. Oh man, J.R. Blount, 9 points, big time play. 38-20, Richard tries to find more, and watch the hustle there by Brandon Brown as he hits the floor again. Here's that last, this is the Blount move on the baseline. 3 guys weren't enough to stop him. Blount called for the foul. Got the arm of Andy Richard.
The defensive intensity just keeps coming.
But I don't think Cuba City has ever panicked.
No.
They've been in difficulty, but not panicked. Some teams would panic at this defensive intensity.
Well, they're still running their offense. They're playing tough on defense. They're not giving up.
Kirk traveled. Tried to find more, but on that little spin, shuffled his feet. Another Cuba City turnover. 14 on the Cubans. Final minute, third quarter. Here's Brown. Kicking to Pozowinski and missed his pass. Hit him right in the chest. Here's Richard over Blount. Yes, Andy Richard
Good decision on his part. You know, that's so much about basketball. Basketball is about making good decisions. When do you pull up and take the shot? When do you pass? Handling the ball. And the decisions are something that you have to make so quick. Experience makes a difference over it.
Here's a good decision, getting the ball in the hands of J.R. Blount. I like that.
Definitely.
Jamie Schrum defends. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Blount, free throw. Rebound, Cuba City, Timmerman. And then they threw it out of bounds as Schrum hits the sideline with 1 second left.
Checking in from the Knights, number 33, Kwame Mitchell.
33, Kwame Mitchell, three-point specialist, comes in for Dominican. I don't imagine he'd float out to that arc, eh?
Just enough time to catch and shoot.
Blount, one dribble, shot is short. After three, Dominican has a 16-point lead. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. We're going to the fourth quarter. Dominican leads Cuba City 38-22. DK, Dominican Knights. That's what that stands for. And Dennis, we look at the statistics, and boy, sometimes stats are misleading, but not today in this one.
Certainly not. And we find such an advantage with the Knights. You take a look at the difference in points off the turnovers and the rebounds. Big numbers.
Cuba City only with 23 field goal attempts so far through three quarters. Well, let's see what the Cubans can do in quarter number 4. And play begins with Cuba City with possession. And they try the back door to Kirk, and it works.
I believe that's the third time they've tried that. 2 out of 3 isn't bad.
5 points for Corey Kirk, so 38-24.
Jerry's using everything, every trick in the book to get some points on the board.
Underwood thought about 3, but now finds Pozowinski. Here's Blount. Foul. Strong move to the basket, draws the foul on Tyson Dressler, and Cuba City's offense off to a good start here, Dennis.
Well, this is what they need. They need a little shot in the arm. Kind of get them thinking positively a little bit. Get a little confidence going.
Second personal foul on Tyson Dressler. 4th team foul on Cuba City. No shooting foul, so Dominican inbounds to Blount. Haley. Miss and fouled the shot for 2 more for Ben Haley.
He's just terrific.
Sensational day for Ben Haley. 19 points.
Again, he set him up with a little fake, little drive. Put it up, and when it didn't go, rolled off, he was there for the board.
And again, you have to box him out.
Yes.
You may not get it, he may jump over you, but you have to box him out. There's a basket for Cuba City. Tyler Timmerman has 8 points.
I think maybe they're settling down just a little bit this half and getting in the flow a little bit.
Timmerman's only a sophomore, so good things ahead for him at Cuba City. And Blount again working the baseline for 2 more. 13 for J.R. Blount. And with that point, that basket, Blount becomes the single-season scoring leader for Dominican. Breaks the scoring record of Bill Engibus from 1971. He was already the career scoring leader for Dominican, but now Blount with a single-season points record.
Terrific career.
The 2005 WIAA tournament is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic, where the future of medicine lives. Moore hits the first free throw. Here's that alley-oop that worked for Corey Kirk.
I wonder how many times he used that during the season so far.
Well, 3 today, right?
Yep.
42-27. That time Brown was looking for Blount. And missed connections, turnover, Dominican. And 7th on the Knights today.
At this point in the game, I think if you were coaching any game, it wouldn't make any difference. Just seven turnovers is not very many.
Timmerman Working on Brown. Nice move, but couldn't get it to drop in the basket. Away comes Brandon Brown with a rebound.
I've got a feeling the next couple of years he's going to be doing that an awful lot at Cuba City, and he's going to make them go down.
Ben Haley. 3 more.
He's in his own.
22 for Ben Haley.
Does he have a smooth shot or what?
Yeah. He doesn't even look fatigued at all. I mean, he's perspiring a little bit, but not a whole lot. And he's done an awful lot of work today, but he just, here we go, next trip down.
And for the Knights, number 52, Ben Wolf.
Beautiful. So now 5:31 left. Dominican's lead is 18. Kirk works on Haley. Here's Richard. Now Kirk will go to the lane over Wolf. Long. Haley with another rebound for the Knights.
That was a very good move, and he really elevated well. It just a little bit too hard hit the back of the rim.
Well, you got to look at big 6'4" Ben Wolf in there, 52 for Dominican. Now they post up again inside for Blount.
Basketball number 25, J.R. Blount.
So 22 for Haley, 15 for Blount. 47-27.
And Dominican has stayed in that tough man-to-man the whole game.
Dominican has not slowed down one bit. Here's Haley to Blount. Dressler couldn't do much inside as Blount finishes yet another play for Dominican.
This is a great post-up.
Tyrone Doherty the second in again for Dominican, number 10. That's going to be a Cuba City foul.
Cuban foul number 20, Tyson Dressler.
Tyson Dressler gets his third personal, team foul number 6 on Cuba City. The City of Presidents. Blount darn near made that one, but he'll go to the free throw line again.
Dressler's doing everything he can to contain him, but he's got some size over him, and he's very, very strong too.
Cuban foul number 20, Tyson Dressler.
Tyson Dressler gets his 4th personal foul.
25, J.R. Blount.
There goes J.R. Blount to the free throw line. And as we said, he'll be playing at Loyola of Chicago next year. While Wallersheim says he's always been mentally tough, and it's rubbed off on the rest of the players on the program. That happens an awful lot with a player of that caliber, where the other guys see how to do it.
Right, and he says a lot of times he doesn't have to say anything to him, that JR takes care of it. You know, he can see when one of the other guys is maybe dogging it a little bit in practice or whatever, and he gets on him. He does it in the right way, too, because they respond to it. That's a sign of a real team leader.
Kirk, long 3 in the corner. And the rebound falls to Ben Haley again. Well, he didn't have to work real hard for that one, but he got it as he has for most of this day. 14 rebounds for Ben Haley today, to go with 22 points. Blount rebounds the Haley miss. And a Cuba City foul again. This one will go on 22, Tyler Timmerman.
Cuban foul number 22, Tyler Timmerman, his 3rd, team 7th at the line, number 25, J.R. Blount.
Dominican is really good at sliding into those open slots in the defense and rebounding.
Blount up to 17 points, candidates for the Mr. Wisconsin Basketball Award. And there you see 4 of them we'll see this week. (50-27) Dominican. Blount foul on Richard. Well, it wasn't that long ago. It was 26-16.
Right.
Things have changed dramatically since then.
Cuba had trouble getting their offense going in the second half, and you got to give credit. You got to give credit to Dominican for their just tenacious defense.
Well, man, a lot of people you talk to around here as Moore works inside, blocked by Wolf. It's going to be a foul on Dominican. Is it going to go on Wolf or Doherty? It'll go on Wolf. A lot of people you talk to say, boy, Dominican could compete with any team in any division down here. Now, Paul Wallersheim thought that might be a little
bit of a stretch.
A little bit of a stretch. He certainly could compete with them.
Yes.
But the big guy presence inside might be a bit of a difficulty with Division I teams.
There are definitely many teams in the state which have much more size and strength inside than Dominican, but I don't think there's anybody that has any better guard play.
Well, I'm sure anybody in this tournament would go, I'll take 25, I'll take 12, I'll take 24. And that's a pretty good start. Here's Brown. He rolls one in. Brandon Brown is kind of quiet offensively today, but that's 6 points for him. But that's all they needed. 52-28. Kirk, nice catch, but couldn't catch it. Ball out of bounds. Now Paul Wallersheim is going to make some moves. 30, Tony Balistreri. 3, Travis Davidson, or 3, Scott Pozowinski will come in, and 4, Travis Davidson will get Ben Haley when we come back. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Price check.
Shake stuff up.
Price check on 2.
Winning the big game takes hard work, focus, and a commitment to the team. And that's a lesson that applies off the court as well. Wisconsin public schools are great schools. Our teachers are the finest in the nation, and our students succeed at every level. Through hard work, focus, and a commitment to our schools, we can ensure a brighter future for our children and a better Wisconsin for us all. WEAC is proud to support WIAA boys and girls sports and reminds you that great schools benefit you.
Time for the WIAA Wayback Machine. This is last year's state tournament. Last year's state championship. J.R. Blount, only 1 of 8 from the field, but that one was a big one for Dominican. And then Rob Perry, who was 9 of 11 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 25 points, 10 rebounds. Rob Perry, he was a big factor last year, but Dominican doesn't have him this year, but still, they're as solid as they were. Paul Wallersheim with a championship trophy as Dominican wins the Division III state championship last year here at the Kohl Center. That Rob Perry was a load last year, wasn't he?
Such a factor inside. Very, very strong.
But Dominican has not lost since then. 25-0 coming in. Here's Blount. 2 more for J.R. Blount.
That's the kind of a move that's just impossible to stop.
20 for Blount. 30, Adam Bruner is in for Cuba City. He's a 6-foot senior forward. Bruner fouled along the baseline.
Well, Cuba City certainly has nothing to be ashamed of here. You take a look at the season they had early, running off a bunch, then struggling, but coming back. And that's the mark of a good team, and it shows the character of the coach and how he directs things.
And what a great history for Cuba City. And Jerry Pettigrew's 34 years there. It's won or shared 23 conference championships, has had only 1 losing season. It was 9-10 in the 77-78 season, and of course the 3 state titles for the Cuba City Cubans.
I don't know how you can do any better than that.
No. That time Corey Kirk puts back the basket. 54-30, 7 points for Corey Kirk. One of the co-captains for Cuba City. Co-captain Kirk. Yes. Now down to 1:50 left. Blount catches. 3 people around him, still manages to put in the basket. J.R. Blount with 22 points. That's the lead for Dominican. And he darn near got another steal.
And now we can get some subs in the game.
For Cuba City, 34, Josh Lyon. 54, Kurt Desjardins. Also, number 40 is Mike Myers. For Dominican, 42, Cutter Twos. 22, Mike Flanagan. So Blount goes out with another sensational day. There's a basket for Mike Myers for Cuba City. Mike Flanagan will try 3. And now the final minute will run down in the Division III semifinal. That's a wild shot there, but Mike Myers is there to follow, and he's fouled by Balistreri.
This is a great opportunity for these young kids that maybe haven't seen a lot of playing time. Some of them are younger players. They may be back in the next couple of years, and they'll have a little feel for the Cole Center if they are.
Everybody asked Jerry Pettigrew, is this going to be your last season? Are you retiring? Well, he has a pretty good group coming up in a couple years again. He says, if I make it next year, I may be back for 4 or 5 more, because he knows there's a pretty good group of talent coming up in Cuba City again, as there is
Right.
every year in both the boys and girls program.
And rightly so. I think Jerry wants to leave under his own terms, and he knows when the time is right to leave, and I don't think that's yet. I'm hoping not.
Well, he retired as athletic director at the end of the year, and he says, well, that just give me more time to look at tape.
That's just what he needs, more time to look at tape. I wonder how many tapes he's looked at over the years, and I'm not even sure what they had back when Jerry started.
Tony Balistreri, 3-point basket for Dominican.
You know, Jay, when I played in high school at Casville, Jerry was the coach at Gratiot all 4 of those years, so that's a few years back.
Yeah. I think we were black and white then.
Yeah.
On the TV.
Jerry's done so much for the game in the state, but Southwest Wisconsin, you know, there aren't any better.
Yeah.
So many people have learned from him. He's shared so much over the years with coaches, and everybody looks to him for a little bit of leadership, and his enthusiasm for the game has not changed a bit from the first day he stepped on the floor.
Substitutions for Dominican, 32, Ben Allen, 34, Mario England are in.
Number 10, Josh Bruner.
And for Cuba City, number 10, Josh Bruner. Number 50 is Kevin Keeler. Number 12 is Chase Dreesens. Shooting free throws is Adam Bruner. Nope. Ben Allen rebounds for the Knights. Final 20 seconds. Dominicans headed back to the Division III state championship. Cutter twos missed. And now the Cubans. Let's see who can get a shot off before the horn here. Myers gets another for Cuba City, but their season is over. The Dominican Knights, the winners in our Division III semifinal game. Final score, Dominican 59, Cuba City 36. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. Dominican 59, Cuba City 36. The Knights are back in the Division III state championship game, and standing by with our Ted Stefaniak is Dominican head coach Paul Wallersheim. Ted?
Well, thank you very much. Well, once again, a dominating performance by your team. Talk a little bit about what you guys did today.
I thought we took them out of what they wanted to do on offense. Made it difficult for them to score. While we were kind of getting our feet under us on offense, I didn't think we shot very well to start the game. Our defense kept us in it. And then when we were able to get a couple of points in transition and off steals and knock down a couple threes, kind of got some separation and made them come out and extend their defense a little bit.
One of the nice things we saw in the stats, turnovers, only about 7 turnovers in this game, and a dominating performance on the boards.
Yeah, we're we're not a real big team, but we're active and we get bodies on guys and we make an effort to get to the glass.
As expected, Haley and Blount, terrific game here in the semifinals.
Ben got us going in the first half and got us the lead, and then JR kind of put the pedal to the metal there in the second half.
Paul, you've been undefeated all season long. You're the defending champs, a target on your back all year long. What's the feeling right now? Is it relief, or what is the feeling going into the championship game now?
No, I think the relief will come if we can win on Saturday. We're still very focused on getting ready for Saturday's game and trying to win Saturday's game.
And of course, you've been in this situation. You are the defending champs. You were in the same spot last year. You've got 2 days before you're in that championship game on Saturday night. What do you do between now and then?
Well, the coaches and I will get together tonight and look at some tape, and we'll practice tomorrow afternoon, have another walkthrough on Saturday, and try to keep them as fresh as possible so we have a lot of energy for the game.
Congratulations on this victory. We'll see you Saturday night in the championship game.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
All right, let's go back to Jay.
Pretty good performance by Dominican, eh? Yeah. All right, play of the game now, brought to you by Northern Wisconsin Regional Council of Carpenters. Their first stop for a career in carpentry. Visit them at nwrcc.org. And the play of the game involves J.R. Blount. Along the baseline, missed it once, got it back and laid it in. That is your play of the game.
The Northern Wisconsin Regional Council of Carpenters welcomes men, women, and non-traditional employees of all skill levels to benefit as members of the union. Here's how to join. As an experienced craftsperson, pass the Carpenter Journeyman's Test and join your local union. Residential carpenters can keep their current job and still join the union. If you have limited experience, join the NWRCC as an apprentice or a pre-apprentice trainee and learn to become a skilled craftsman with a reputation for excellence. The NWRCC, a partnership that pays.
Okay, Dominican into the Division III state championship game where they won it last year, and the Knights look for 2 in a row. And you'll see some big numbers from Haley and Blount, but boy, Dominican's defense is going to pose problems for anyone they play.
Absolutely, especially on the perimeter. You're not going to get the looks from three-point that you normally would against a lot of other teams, and it's that man-to-man pressure. They got a hand in the face all the time.
Yeah, and once they got their offense going, that game was pretty much decided. Let's take a look at the highlights of the second half. The Dominican and Cuba City, and the Cubans have a nice play here from Corey Kirk.
Nice move left-hand layup.
But too much J.R. Blount for the Cubans today.
He slid baseline quite a few times in that second half.
Here's that Cuba City backdoor play that worked.
That's a nice play.
Corey Kirk with the finish, and Ben Haley. Big numbers for him today. He and Blount lead the way as Cuba City loses to Dominican 59-36. Final statistics. Let's see if anything changed much. Well, 13 of 32, only 32 field goal attempts for Cuba City, and those offensive rebounding and second chance stats, they just jump out at you.
Right, they do. And really, early they got to the free throw line a number of times, but as the game progressed, that didn't help them out either. A big difference in rebounds.
Leading scorers in our game today, Andy Richard with 9. Nobody in double figures for Cuba City, but 2 big numbers there for Haley and Blount for Dominican lead them to the win. So it will be Dominican against the winner of our next game, Grantsburg and Roncalli, in the Division III Championship Saturday night here at the Kohl Center. Right now, we'll take a break to hear from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
They're well coached. They do a number of things on you. I thought that you have to be able to fight quickness with quickness, and we obviously were not able to. Our game plan was to go 1-3 with a chaser on Blount, and he's a fine player. But I thought that the first half we could have been in the game. But one thing that was worrying me was if Blount got in the lane or Brown got in the lane, they're really dangerous when they get in the lane. I didn't think that Haley would shoot it as well as he did, but he did. And one of the things that concerned me is once the ball went up, then you had to make sure that you blocked Blount and Haley off the boards. And I thought for them, Haley really stepped up and did a tremendous job all day long, not only on the offensive end, but the defensive end. And and then when, Paul did a good job showing me that he was ready to pull it out in the first half, and so we decided, at halftime we might have to go to the 1-3-1 trap, but that leaves so many gaps open for Blunt to get into the middle. And then if you go man, I put my quickest kid, but he posted him up, and Blunt's the real deal, and so is Haley, and that's just a very, very good basketball team and well coached. My hat's off to them.
Take some questions from the media then. Go ahead with your questions, please.
Coach, did you try to do anything to simulate their quickness at all?
Yeah, we did. We went up to we practiced at UW Platteville on Tuesday night, and probably the second best player in that conference, that Division III conference, is this Reitzner kid from Platteville, and he took Tyler, and had another quick kid that graduated a couple of years ago so we tried to simulate the quickness like that, with a couple of guys on them, but there's no way that you can simulate the quickness. But I didn't think for a sophomore point guard, I didn't think my point guard played poorly. I thought he did a pretty good job most of the day. We had a little bit of trouble early when they went to the double teams that we stayed around too much. I think if we let him bring it, we were fine, you know what I mean? But when one guy would stay around, they get that double team in there. But, yeah, we did, Mark, but it was tough to do.
Next question. Show of hand. Chris?
They put a lot of pressure on you defensively in the second quarter. What do you feel like that did to your team and the pressure that they put on you?
Yeah, and that's what you see out of the Milwaukee area. You're going to see a lot of pressure, and we've had teams precious this year, but we've never, I think that most coaches that sat in the stands today would say, hey, unless you've got some dynamite quickness of yourself, that it's pretty hard to, we were trying to get in what we called our pass offense, and it was tough to go. But, I've got my hats off to my kids, and especially this guy over here to my right. We didn't get as many looks for Andy in the first half as we wanted to get, because he's a lights out shooter. And second half he got some looks, and we were happy about that. But we lost 4 out of 5 starters, and the kids just started to believe, and we went 9-1, and we were ranked like about 4 or 5, and I think that's probably on tradition more than probably on our performance. And then we lost, we only won 3 out of the last 10 games down the stretch. And then in tournament, we should have beat Parkview, and we did. We got the number 1 seed Broadhead. They were a very, very big team. We were able to win it by 2. Andy steals the ball against New Glarus. We win by 1 in the regional finals. Andy hit 6 threes in the sectional finals, and we win that one going away. Wild Rose was a very, very good team with Jake Morrow. So, yeah, there'll be no tears in the Cuba City locker room. The kids, they left it all on the floor, and we just ran up against a much better team today, and with much better quickness. You could play with that team if they didn't allow you to press, overplay, and you just had a good gentleman's game in the backyard. You know what I mean? You could play with them. But if they allow all those things in basketball, then it's kind of hard, because you just do not have, you can't, and, my hat's off to Paul and the Dominican program and his kids. We've lost to him 2 years in a row now, so I'd just as soon not play him again.
Andy, if you could just kind of expand on that, their defensive pressure and how hard it was for you guys to get good looks today, in contrast to the last few weeks.
It was very tough with Blunt guarding me to get open. He put a lot of pressure on me, more than I've been used to in the past couple of games, and I just couldn't get open, and he fought through the screens pretty well.
Andy,
As disappointing as this game might be, how will you look back at this season?
It was a great season, I thought. Excellent experience getting here, and just glad that we got a chance to try and make the state championship game.
Coach, I apologize ahead of time for the big obligatory question. Do you know yet if you've going to be back for next season, or have you given much thought about that yet?
Wife and I are going to Florida on Monday. We got a welcome home for the kids on Sunday. We're going to stay around tonight and enjoy ourselves, and then I'd like to get them back in school tomorrow, but I don't think they'll allow me to do that. But we'll go home tomorrow, and we'll we'll have welcome home on Sunday. We got an athletic banquet on Sunday night because Joan and I are going to Florida. We're going to visit John Doyle down there, my old principal, and then we're going to the Final Four. And I got a physical, I don't know, April the 17th or something like that, if he gives me a good bill of health. And I think people would like to see me retire. You know, they look at me and they say, well, you know, he's really old and he looks, that yesterday, that picture in the State Journal was from '98. That's when I was using Grecian yet, you know, and, you know, I feel great. I feel great, and I'm not anticipating retiring, to be honest with you. I'd be lying to you if I said, geez, you're 29 wins away from 700. I'll never reach Morgan Wooten, but I could reach 700. I mean, what the heck? And really one thing before we get done here, I want to salute the WIA and Deb Hauser particularly. I was here for the girls last week when we won the state championship, and that laser show on Saturday night, my God, you'd die for. You know, they say the biggest thrill is the Final Four. No, biggest thrill is the WIA state tournament and the class people that they have running it. So thank you.
Thank you, Coach. That's all the time we have for questions.
I thought we did a real good job defensively of taking them out of what they wanted to do. I thought that was the key because we didn't shoot very well in the first half. And Ben made a couple big shots for us and kind of extended the lead a little bit in the first half. But our defense really limited them and made them take tough shots and limited them to one shot. I don't think until late in the game, I don't think they had any second chance points. So that was kind of the idea. And then in the second half, GR started to get going and we extended our lead. And again, we made it very difficult on them to run their offense.
Okay, let's open up for questions. One right here.
Coach, could you talk about the offensive rebounding too? You guys, when you said you weren't shooting well in the first half, but the kids were really getting to the offensive glass.
That's something we talk about every day in practice, is really making an effort, because we're not a big team. We're not a particularly great offensive team, but if we can get second and third shots on the glass, it makes up for a lot of sins offensively sometimes.
Next question. Hold on one second. Here we got one.
Can you just talk about Ben's contributions and what he gave you today?
I thought, especially early, when our shots weren't dropping, I thought he made some real big shots in the first half, and then his work on the offensive glass was important for us to kind of pull away, and it makes a big difference for us, and it makes a big difference for Cuba City if we can get out to a lead, because if we're not in the lead, they can keep their zone packed in and keep GR doubled and tripled when he gets the ball. Once we get the lead and can get up by 10 or 12, which Ben's offense allowed us to do, now they've got to extend out defensively, and now we can take advantage of our guard play on offense.
JR, the shots weren't falling in the first half. Did that bring back some memories for you a little bit? And were you cognizant of taking it to the basket in the second half?
Well, yes, it's kind of like last year. I mean, it's really a mental thing. It's just you got to have confidence. And going into halftime, my teammates were telling me, well, just go to the rack. If the shot's not falling, you can take it to the basket. And like Coach said, it was key that Ben opened up the offense, so then they got out of the zone. They had to play us man-to-man, and we're very hard to match up.
Next question.
For both of the players, could you talk about how much quicker you guys were than the other team, or just the defensive pressure you're able to put onto them, and what you feel like how that affected them?
I think our quickness is just something that we work on a lot in practice, and defense and pressure D is our motto. Is something that we pride ourselves on, so that if we're not doing that right on offense, we got our defense to back us up.
Yes, all week Coach was stressing how we wanted to deny and just get out on them and pressure them, and I think that really opened things up. While they weren't able to run their offense, they weren't able to I think they felt uncomfortable with our defensive pressure, and that really opened things up. We got a lot of points off transition, and that really just played off well for us.